Detroit police officers say two suspects accused of attacking an off-duty officer and trying to take his gun at a BP gas station on the city's west side have turned themselves in.
Now, this comes after a number of deadly incidents at Detroit gas stations, including back in early May when a customer shot 3 people, killing one of them after the clerk had locked the doors to prevent the man from leaving without paying. And then a week ago, another clerk allegedly shot and killed a customer after an argument. In the wake of the violence, City Council is considering a ban on locking customers inside a business, an ordinance to require clerks to train in de-escalating situations. Joining us now to discuss these ideas is former Assistant Chief of Detroit Police, Steve Dolunt. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So some of these incidents, all of these that we just mentioned, are from the past few weeks alone. Is it possible that it's a coincidence, or what is it about gas stations that makes that setting a potentially dangerous one?
A gas station is a target-rich environment. They're open 24 hours. You look at what they, not all gas stations. You look at the cleanliness of the gas station, what they sell, the location, and that kind of determines what's going on. If you're not cleaning up the garbage outside the gas pumps, it tells people they don't really care. If it's not well lit, what they're selling inside. Are you familiar with Lucy's? Loose cigarettes?
Oh, sure.
Lucy's, okay. So if you're selling Lucy's, that's the clientele that's going to show up. If you're selling little cups with the alcohol, if you're selling, you know what Chore Boy is? Okay, that's because you guys aren't crackheads. If you're a crackhead, you would know that Chore Boy is your filter. It's like a Brillo pad you stuff in the crack pipe. If you're selling the artificial crack pipes with the rose in it, it's crack pipe. That's the clientele you're going to draw. And unfortunately, those are things that lead to this kind of incident.
As someone that's been in law enforcement their entire life, is locking the gas station door with people inside, is that a good idea or a bad idea? I mean, to think that someone's going to pull a gun out on you, you're not thinking along those lines, but just yes or no, is that a good idea or a bad idea to lock somebody inside?
No, because the person becomes desperate. Some banks, if you came in to rob a bank with a note, and if you ran out, they would lock you in, provided no one else is there. And that's fine, because you have a note. But one of these idiots had a gun. And then in the other case, well, they both had guns, actually. Why would you lock the door and put other people's lives at risk? It's $4. You have insurance. Let them go.
That's the confusing part of all this.
And how old? He was a kid. Was he 20 or something? The guy that locked the door?
27.
Okay. That's the kid that locked the door?
I believe so.
Okay. So what are you thinking? If I'm the owner and it's my business, here's the deal. If they steal something, fine. We have the cameras. Unfortunately, if it's under $1,000, no one's going to do anything. But still, we have to set the tempo. Let's get engaged with the community, and they'll help us. But you don't lock the door. And I love the idea of de-escalation techniques. That's great. Hey, dude, chill out. Let's just talk. It's $4. Okay, goodbye.
So devil's advocate on that, though. I mean, is that asking too much of someone who's just trying to make a living working in a gas station? Now you have to de-escalate potentially deadly conflict? I mean, what happened to just letting the person run, like you mentioned, and let the cameras hopefully take care of it?
It is asking a lot, because I'm paying you minimum wage to stand behind a bullet-resistant glass and saying, hey, don't take my stuff. De-escalation is more of, hey, dude, relax, calm down. How can I help you? Not go out and engage, because then you're talking, you know, it's got a firearm. You have to de-escalate the situation. Just verbal, it's okay, we're good, go, knock yourself out, leave. But if you become involved in the community and the community starts to trust you and your place is clean, your clientele is going to be better than the ones that hang out, like I said, with the Chore Boys, the Lucy's, the Cups.
I saw a video last week of a attendant at a liquor store in Australia locking someone inside. They had nowhere to go. They were trying to steal beer, and they just put it back, and then she let them out. And people were applauding her for doing so. But in this case, it doesn't sound like, obviously, a great idea. Now the clerk at the station here that we're talking about is facing charges. He was arrested. Is that fair, in a sense? Because, I mean, you're put in a situation in the wee hours of the morning. He's not trained to know what to do.
He's not trained. He's not a law enforcement professional. He's working for minimum wage on midnights behind a bulletproof glass in a neighborhood he probably doesn't live in. He probably doesn't know the people coming in there. And it's just, it built up. No, it's not. He should have been charged with something, but wasn't he charged with manslaughter?
I believe so.
I have a problem with that. Yes, you locked the door. That was wrong. But to charge him with manslaughter, and The individual wouldn't have been shot if he hadn't locked it. I don't think he had the intent to get anyone killed. I don't think so, but that's just me.
So outside of training employees better, teaching them to de-escalate, or at least teaching them not to escalate the situation, what else is the solution? Should there be security? Do gas stations need more employees?
No, well, I don't think anyone should work by themselves on midnights, because what if there's a medical situation? Someone should be there to help them. But let's take down all these papers on all the windows that are advertised and everything, so when you drive by, you can look in. I want to go in there. What are you selling? If you're selling, vapes and Chore Boy and the crack pipes and stuff, I'm not going to the gas station. If it's dirty, I'm not going there. Keep it bright. I like the green light thing, but these guys didn't care about green light. Those two idiots that attacked the police officer, they didn't care. Everyone knows there's cameras there, and those two clowns went in anyway. And
he was in uniform.
He was in uniform. I looked at the video. It didn't look like he had his department-issued holster on, but he had a holster on, and they reached for it. And then the one guy with the gun, he's a total coward. He ran away when the officer fought back, right, and left his buddy there. They're in my opinion, two street thugs that thought they had an opportunity, and when it didn't go well, they ran like the cowards that they are. That's just one man's opinion. The officer had every right to shoot him. He didn't. That guy's a hero, in my book, because he could have shot him.
But in closing, you are in support of the idea of at least banning the concept of locking other customers
absolutely,
inside.
absolutely. Yeah, because you never know, especially late at night, if they have a weapon or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Steve Dolunt, former Assistant Chief of Detroit Police, thanks so much for joining us, sharing your thoughts.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.